Good morning, everybody, and a happy Wednesday morning to you. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. A big thank you to the Royal Griff for this picture you're looking at above. Now, for those of you who watch me, if you're looking for royal family news, I apologize, there's none. This entire video is Harry and Meghan. So, if that's not your jam, then I will see you tomorrow. But if it is, here we go. So you guys remember the chicken video from Meghan Markle that she posted? Well, what's coming out is that she knew exactly what she was doing when she posted that right after King Charles was pictured feeding a flock. We know about that. We know that she did it intentionally as he was wrapping up his visit, and she was with that LA chocolatier and she was showing him around the coop. But they're saying that the video timing was not accidental because she was trying to shift the narrative away from the royals back to Montecito, which is what she does. So the second that Charles started winning the news cycle, Meghan moved because she knows how to play the game. And so when the palace gains momentum, she tries to change the subject. And nobody at the palace was remotely surprised because Charles was getting glowing coverage and suddenly something appears out of Montecito. So at that point, it's practically part of the rhythm. Charles gets the headline, Meghan resets the narrative. So when all of this was going on, Danica from Sky News had something to say. We've heard from her before. Now, instead of putting different pictures up, I'm just going to let her talk and I'm going to blur her out. This has been dramatically edited down for you guys, okay? So listen to this.
Humiliation for the spare and his wife, Meghan Markle. Donald Trump has had enough of them. He's privately savaged Prince Harry during King Charles's visit to America. Trump remarked to a British visitor when the conversation turned to Harry, "Can you take him back?" Wow. Everyone is fed up with the grifters. I mean, Trump has clearly had enough of the woe is me, ginger and whinger. And the president was also blunt about Meghan Markle's influence on her husband, telling royal biographer Robert Hardman, that wife of his, boy, what's she done to that guy? He's not wrong. He's not wrong, is he? We know it. And I've got to say, I think SNL's latest brutal roast of the Sussexes sums it up very well. Now, I will say this. I don't often give SNL credit because I actually find them quite woke and wacky at the best of times. But sometimes they do come up with the goods. And that was one of their rare times. Very, very well played. But, you know, we've got a situation where we've got first King Charles, he's done with them, and now Trump's off them. And the British monarchy is so frustrated. I mean, you know, the King's had enough of his deranged son. He's shut the door on a royal reunion at Sandringham this summer. He didn't even meet with the fake Montecito royals during his 3-day US trip, and why would he? But the King has just had, in my view, one of his most successful tours to date. That speech that he gave to US Congress was outstanding. And Trump welcomed him and Queen Camilla with open arms. So much so, he lent King Charles and the Queen Marine One for their visit to Virginia. He even removed the whiskey tariff after speaking with the King, would you believe? And publicly praised him over and over. Of course, unlike deadbeat Harry, who spends his entire life trashing the British monarchy. I mean, in the middle of the US tour, Mr. and Mrs. Grifter get on the cover of People magazine with the headline, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are making their own rules. Well, where do you think that puff piece got that line from? The leaking couple themselves and their slaves around them. They are so desperate for good publicity. And when King Charles went to a farm in Harlem and fed chickens, well, Meghan was just desperate to outdo her father-in-law. Pathetic, so trashy. Ugh, disgusting. I mean, the disrespect to the King, appalling. And Harry and Meghan just used their trip down under to once again slander the royal family, all the while masquerading as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, using their official titles to make money. And so, of course, Trump has said no more. Of course he has, because he's had enough as well. As we all have in Australia. Have a look at this. A poll of the dimwits down under proves disaster for the couple. It asks, did Prince Harry and Meghan's visit to Australia improve your opinion of them? Well, yes, 19%. No, 81. 81%. 81% of us said no. That is an overwhelming no. They are so pathetic, aren't they? Oh, and they've left us with a parting gift, by the way, an exclusive interview in the Australian Women's Weekly that's just been released. Meghan's had yet another whinge, this time about her clothes. She told the magazine, "Over the last several years, I would hear about an incorrect designer getting credit for something I wore, either via affiliate links or press, and that never seemed fair. Credit where credit is due. These brands and designers work so hard and take great pride in their work, and I choose them for a reason." The hypocrisy. And was it the same reason she wore this $1,200 dress to the Melbourne Children's Hospital, followed by a women's homeless shelter? Or perhaps this top to meet with the victims of the Bondi massacre? Both outfits she flogged on a clothing platform that she's an investor in so women could buy it and she could make a cut. Oh, but because she faced so much backlash, that striped Bondi top was removed from the site days later. How dumb is she? Not a brain between her and Harry, low IQ. Unlike the grifters who went home from their fake Australian tour with $10 million in profits, magazine deals, and a cash-for-wear clothing scheme in tow.
So what's being said is that Meghan's dream is gone, and basically she and Harry pissed it all away, which I completely agree with. She's trying to sell her As Ever products. You guys remember this at Godmother's? Well, now she's gotten a downgrade. Yeah, that's where her stuff is now. FYI, one more picture came up from Meghan in the church. Thank you to Nancy Sidley for this. Let's move on. The next story that came out was how Ted Sarandos and his wife really feel about Meghan Markle. Now, we know that Netflix opted not to renew her lifestyle show. They're no longer part of her As Ever brand. And apparently, Ted Sarandos tried to help her and Harry save face by inviting them to that party to launch the second season of the company's acclaimed drama Beef. But then some things happened during the event. And in order to show that there was no ill will between them and Netflix, Meghan Markle appeared to buck the event's dress code of black and white gowns for women, and she tried to grab the attention by wearing a dress in the same distinctive chartreuse as the Beef star Carey Mulligan. Then Meghan and Harry posed for photos with Sarandos and his wife, but Meghan was very handsy with Miss Avant as if to prove a close bond, and she held her in a tight hug and she's grasping her hand. We've seen all that before. Netflix approved the pictures, Gettr distributed the pictures, and then they were taken down because it was believed that someone wasn't happy with the photos of Meghan clinging to her. And now it's come out, a source insisted to Daily Mail that Nicole, Ted Sarandos' wife, actually hates Meghan. Now that's a harsh word to discuss her feelings about her, especially when she and her husband have been portrayed as their friendly Montecito neighbors. But according to some people, as I've told you before, Harry and Meghan have burned a lot of bridges. Ted's wife doesn't like her. She covers it well, but then I guess in Hollywood you would have to. Let's move on to our next story. People are really questioning Serena Williams' friendship with Meghan Markle because, first of all, her disastrous As Ever promotion, which we discussed before, after she got that PR parcel filled with Meghan's Mother's Day stuff. And now we have this past weekend where Serena stepped out with the Duchess of Bath and went to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's star-studded pre-Met Gala celebration in New York. Now, you should know that, well, first of all, I thought they both looked lovely. But when they're walking out, and by the way, that's Serena's husband ahead of her holding her hand. When they're walking out and they go to get in the car, and once again, I know this woman works out, but look at her spine. It literally, she needs to put on a little weight. It's one thing to be in shape. Again, I'm not trying to body shame her. I just feel like she's not as healthy as she could be. Anyway, that is the first black woman to be married into an aristocratic family, not Meghan Markle. Now, Serena and the Marchioness of Bath have met before. This is them in Spain. We also know that the Marchioness of Bath has her own cooking lifestyle thing and that Meghan copycatted it. So with all of this stuff going on, people are really wondering what the hell is going on and why didn't Meghan not go to the Met? Now, one other thing. I know Serena has lost a lot of weight. I think she looks great. She looks much better since she's I think she said in one of her commercials she's down 40 pounds. But in my opinion, that dress still, she should lose a little bit more weight before she tries to squeeze herself into that dress. It's a beautiful dress. She looks great, but I just feel like she needs to lose just a smidge more. Now, the next night, Serena went to a star-studded pre-Met Gala dinner that was being held by Anna Wintour. She arrived wearing a backless red sequin gown that had a striking asymmetrical silhouette, and there was a slit on the back that barely covered up her tush, and you could see just about everything. I got to be honest, it does not look good on her. It looks cheap, it's tacky, it's vulgar. Half her rear end appears to be hanging out. This was not a good look. I don't know who thought of this one. On X, somebody said something that, this is a big fat fail. There's so much going on that they didn't know where to start. There's the unfortunate underwear flash getting out of the car. Then you had the awkward yank to pull her underwear out of her butt. You had this very unflattering high leg slit, the half exposed cheek for good measure. Oh, Serena. Again, she has lost a lot of weight. She looks much better since she's lost that weight, but she has not lost enough weight to pull off this kind of dress. And I agree, this dress is not styling. It looks cheap, it looks tacky, and she doesn't look good in it. I don't know who thought this one up, but that is definitely a big fat fail for me. As far as Meghan goes, she did not attend the Met Gala. Experts believe that Anna Wintour is responsible. The gala took place on May 4th at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, this year's theme being costume art and the dress code being fashion is art. And again, Miss Wintour was overseeing the event, and the Sussex's invitation, or lack of, was an indication of their standing in entertainment and fashion. Let's face it, they were attacked by SNL. They didn't get an invitation, but just like every other event that they've missed, they're claiming they had to prioritize personal family matters and separate professional commitments, because that's what you say when you're being snubbed. Princess Diana was at the Met before. Princess Beatrice has been at the Met, and they have invited Catherine several times, but she hasn't taken them up on the invitation. Now, Anna Wintour is said to have invited Catherine personally, but sources are saying this is not her first invitation, and she's declining because she wants to avoid high-profile media frenzy that's associated with these events. Anna Wintour came out dressed in a beautiful green. Nicole Kidman looked gorgeous in her form-fitting red dress. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I do not begrudge Lauren Sanchez Bezos. She is a beautiful woman. It's pretty obvious she's had a lot of plastic surgery. But for some reason, every time she dresses, her breasts are front and center. In every single dress that she's ever worn, she must be very proud of them, because really, that's all you seem to notice on anything she's wearing. Emma Thin then put up this video, I guess, as she and Serena were getting ready together for the Met Gala, and they're dancing around throwing flower petals. Oh, yay. This kind of video, when you have not been invited to the party, almost comes off, I agree, as an FU. Now, I must say, I do find it interesting that Edward Enfield, who was Meghan's friend and is no more, who was the head of British Vogue, is seen posing with Serena Williams, the Marchionessa of Bath, and, Anna Wintour and Serena and Venus, and like all these people that are snubbing Meghan are in these pictures. I just find that very interesting. Since the theme was art, let me just say Meghan Trainor's dress was gorgeous, but all the Kardashians, Kim, Kylie, Kendall, all wore sculptural breastplates and molded bodices featuring prominently sculpted or fake nipples. It was odd. All right, let's move into our second story. While Meghan was in Australia, or before she got to Australia, you have these two gentlemen. They both have Down syndrome, and they run a channel on YouTube. Meghan sent them a plethora of her as ever, products and a card. And so these guys tried to make one of her recipes, and then they did this whole thing about how they made a gift bag for her, and they can't wait to see her and give her the gifts that they put together for her. By the way, they call her Maggie several times. And then this happened. Here we go.
I would say, welcome to Australia, Meghan.
Hey, Meghan.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be in Australia, but I'm mostly so happy to meet both of you.
Yeah.
Finally, in real life.
So she makes it sound like she has a close personal relationship with these boys. Finally, we meet in real life. Get it?
And I got surprise for you, Meghan.
Oh,
You get the surprise.
I get a surprise.
Meghan,
Okay.
You go to you.
It's exciting.
She keeps looking out into the room like, come on, guys, let's move this along. Now, these two boys pull out a bag that says with love on it, and they start pulling gifts out. And one of the things they pull out are these animals from one of the TV shows in Australia. Suddenly, yes, her children, she has to bring up the children, and they love the Australian show. Of course they do. Then they pull out some candy, which Meghan snatches up and goes, these are my favorites. And of course she has to mention Doria, and these are my mom's favorites.
There's suspense on this one.
Once again, she has to look at the crowd in the room against the wall. So then these two sweet men hand Meghan two different jerseys for two different teams and chicken salt, which Meghan immediately licks her fingers, sticks it in the salt, and has to try it. They then hand her some sunscreen, and then Meghan looks over in the back and goes, oh, I think I know what's coming. That's going to be for my husband. So this is where Meghan used these two guys to make the advertisement that they're going to be renewing their vows. I mean, she totally used them. And once again, she goes, for the love of my life. Not one place anywhere can I find where she says, I love Harry. Nowhere. Then they hand her a beer. So, of course, she has to pop it and try it right there. Yeah, she never turns down alcohol.
Okay.
It tastes good, though.
That's good.
That's good.
She took a sip of this beer, and I think you can tell from her facial expression that she actually didn't like it worth a darn, but she wasn't going to tell them that. Look at her face. Then they pull another beer out for her to try.
Okay. Also very good. This is a little bit lighter.
And again, with the faces. She just can't help herself. I think it's just in her. Now, this time, the boys say, we have one more surprise for you. And they pull out this picture of the two of them, and they pointed out to her that they even signed it. They were so excited. For the first time, Meghan got a picture, and it wasn't of herself. I hate to say it, I think she's probably going to just throw that picture away. Now, why would she do this? Well, could it have something to do with the fact that these two guys have 1 million subscribers on YouTube? That's right. And thank you to Anna Rod on Twitter, as well as Gail, who pointed out she did exactly what Catherine did. I swear, it's like she's watching all the time, and she's going to do whatever Catherine does. So what did she do? She taped this, and then she started, putting it out when she needed to take the attention off the royals, because let's face it, the king just finished his tour. Eugenie just announced her pregnancy. But remember, Meghan showed up late to her Best Life podcast and left early. And it's pretty obvious that one of those times, either before or after, this is what she was doing. Ooh, I want your comments on this. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, a link to my father's book, which remains up for sale on Amazon, a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as my physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.